Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Tiffany Benson, one part of Team Benson, and today's the big day to pick a winner. I have all the names right here. But first, it's finally time for me to get rid of the ants in my garden. So I got rid of them in a day and a half. So if you guys want to find out how I did it, and you want to know who won, then just stay tuned. Okay guys, so part of growing in the city is that you get the joys of growing next to fence lines with other people. I live in a townhouse, and so therefore our backyards are shared by a fence line. So a lot of times you cannot have any issues in your garden, in your little garden space, and everything is nice and beautiful and great, but somebody next to you could have an issue in their garden. Now, I've never had an issue with ants. I usually see a couple of them come into my garden and, mess around, get on the plants, but then they go away. And it's something that usually it's like they're there in the morning and then by the afternoon, they're completely gone. Well, and I've also never had an ant bed inside of any of my raised garden beds or any of my pots. But the problem is that it became more than a couple of ants. It actually became an aggressive amount of ants, and they started to like my okra flowers. And that is one flower that I really, really love. As you guys have heard me say before, is that ants can help pollinate some of your flowers. I've always used ants as pollinators before. I've never had a problem where there are like a million of them or anything like that. And they typically don't really bring aphids into my garden as well, because there's never really like an ant bed. Like they kind of come in a couple times a year and then they go away. So I never really paid any attention, and I always don't want to ever put anything directly into my garden beds and into my soil or directly onto my plants. As you guys know, I enjoy and like growing a organic garden because my husband likes to go out in my garden and pick things and eat them. So I try to avoid putting any type of pesticides. Well, actually I do avoid putting any type of pesticides or anything like that. I don't even use natural things like neem oil or anything because it's 110 in Arizona. So putting oil on the leaves is just gonna burn them quicker. So I scoured YouTube to find a way to get rid of ants. Because I have one neighbor that is completely redoing their backyard, which means digging up all of the sand. So that's digging up everything, and that is creating a lot of interesting things in my backyard. And then I have another neighbor who is spending time with her kiddos in her backyard, so that means fruit everywhere on the backyard. So their problems have become my problems, and now I get a ton of ants. So I looked everywhere on YouTube, and I came across the Am I Gardener's channel, which I watch Luke a lot. He's a gardener that I have watched for a couple of years now, and he had a remedy for getting rid of ants. His remedy was cinnamon, or you could use laundry soap, the old school laundry soap, borax. Now I thought, since I don't have like a bed or anything like that, he said there could be a couple problems. One could be a fungal in your soil. I haven't really seen too many mushrooms in my soil, which is usually a sign that there are some fungus in your soil growing. To me, fungus isn't a bad thing. Seeing mushrooms grow in my soil lets me know that my soil is active. But there were a couple of spots by the okra that I thought maybe it could have been a little bit of fungal. So I only sprinkled a little bit of cinnamon down for the first day. So I sprinkled a little cinnamon down, which made my garden smell amazing, and that kind of treated the soil. So to get rid of the ants though, the next day I made a paste. So I used 1 part of borax to 1.5 parts of sugar, and I mixed it up in water and made a thick paste. Now you don't want to make a loose paste because then the ants can pick out the sugar versus the borax, at least that's what Luke said. I made it as thick as possible. I wanted it to be like a giant bowl of ice cream. And then I didn't want to put that directly into my garden bed because even though this is soap, I still think it's a chemical. I mean, if I read the back of it, it's still got some stuff in there. So I didn't want to put that directly in my garden bed. So what I did is I used wax paper, and I just took a sheet of wax paper, tore it off, put the mixture on top of the wax paper, and I laid it out on the bricks of my garden bed. That then attracted all of the ants instantly because they were like, yay, free sugar. Like they literally ran off of the plants, came onto these little piles of borax and sugar water that I had, and they died instantly. And the ones that didn't die left and took it back to their home. And I have not seen an ant since then. So I'll show you guys a video of what it looks like now. Alright guys, and this is my okra bed. As you can see, there is not a single ant. We will talk about this one tomorrow because I did introduce a new pest to my garden. But as you can see, no more ants, and all of my okras, including the little flowers that are coming in, are perfectly fine. So that was a quick and easy way to get rid of the ants in my garden. So it really probably only took like 2 days, and that's because I separated using the cinnamon and then the next day using the borax sugar mixture. But I didn't have to put anything directly onto my soil other than the cinnamon, which I don't think that it really was a fungal issue because there were still ants after the cinnamon, and I didn't have an ant pile to pile over, like to pile the cinnamon on top of like Luke did. So I think it was kind of just like a, hey, I'm putting cinnamon on there. But what really worked was the borax and sugar. And like I said, I put it on a wax paper and put it on the bricks, so none of it actually touched the soil of my garden bed. So that keeps my garden pretty healthy. So now it's time to pick a winner. So I'm so excited, guys. As you guys know, Mighty Crop so graciously sponsored my 1,000 subscriber giveaway. So they will be giving away a 4-pack of the Mighty Crop system to the winner. They'll be shipping it directly to you. And then I will be shipping some seeds that I use in my garden, some of my favorites. I have Minnesota Midget Cantaloupe and the Scarlet Runner Beans, the Oregon Sugar Pod Peas, and then also the nasturtiums. Now all of these seeds came from the Great American Expo, which if you guys have been following my channel for a while, back in September where I originally got all of these piles of seeds and I started sharing through my giveaways. It's a giant expo that we have here in Arizona that are all Arizona grown seeds. So all of these seeds are used to the Arizona heat and dry desert. So if you guys aren't in Arizona, they're probably gonna go really, really well because they're gonna be like, thank God I'm not in 110 degrees and rock. So let's pick a winner. Oh my God, I'm so excited. And the winner is Maggie the Gardener. So congratulations, Maggie. I am going to have my email address down below, and you can send me an email, and then also I will connect you with Mighty Crop so that we can get your Mighty Crop system out to you. But thank you guys so much for all supporting my channel. Like, this has been such a fun journey so far, and I can't wait to see how far it grows and how it continues to grow as we get land and build on there and just continue our path to full self-sufficiency. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys are all having amazing weeks and really spending some time with your family and enjoying just yourselves. So until next time, grow yourself a garden because even a small space can provide you with tons of food. Bye guys.